Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? I'm gonna wait until I get a thumbs up from you guys that you can hear me. Hello, hello. Want to make sure the connection is good, that you guys are able to get value from this live today. Let me know and we'll get started. Who needs to hear this topic today? Who heard about this topic and was like, this is something that frustrates me a lot. It's something that I hear all the time. Let me know, guys. Who gets price objections? First of all, do you even do people even ask you your prices? Like, where are you at on the scale of getting clients? Are people asking you your prices right up front? How much is it? Without even knowing what it is? What do you feel like is the biggest challenge around your pricing with your customers? Do you feel like, oh, they just, the main thing is they just can't really afford it? Like, nobody can really afford my prices. It's just kind of out of their price range. Or do you feel like they can afford it, they just don't really want it? What do you think is the biggest struggle for you getting people to pay you for your coaching? Let me know in the comments. We're going to talk about how to bust the price objection. We're also going to talk about what the price objection really is, right? We're going to talk about why you get price objections, what it is, and how to handle it when it comes up. Who's excited? Good to see some of you hopping on here. Yay! Woohoo! Let me know if you're just joining me. Let me know if you're here. What do you guys think about price? The biggest thing about price objections, and this is like the number one thing that you need to understand, right? When people give you price objections and they say, that's just too expensive, or I just don't have that much. I don't have that much money. Hey, Laura. The biggest thing that you need to understand is that before you can even go over there to your client, right? Before they've even signed up, if you're in a conversation with them, they're your client, right? That's how I view everybody. The first thing that you need to understand before you can go to that client and help them and coach them around their thoughts about the price, right? And their thoughts about their ability to work with you, is you need to understand what's going on in your own mind first. When you hear the first, kind of like buyer defense where someone says, I just want to let you know I don't have a lot of money. I'm not sure how much this is, but just so you know, like, I can't afford much. Or, you take them through your whole consultation and then you offer them your coaching because they're a perfect fit and they say, I just don't have that much money. The first thing you need to understand before you can talk to them or say anything or react or respond at all, right, is that everything that happens inside your business and your life in general, really, is a reflection of what's going on in your mind. Right? So the fastest way to beat a price objection and overcome that objection is to get internally congruent with that price, right? The price and the value of what they are investing in. Because if there is like a shred of insecurity inside of you that maybe it is too much for these people, like maybe I can't charge this much and they're really having a hard time with the price. If there's any doubt around the price, right? If you're telling yourself thoughts like, who am I to even be charging this much? That will be felt on a consultation. It will be felt by your clients, right? So in other words, if I have doubts in my mind about the price, right? And that's what's in my head, and I'm like really nervous to say the number, and I'm having a physical reaction when I'm about to make them an offer, right? It doesn't matter if I have the best pitch. It doesn't matter if I have the best webinar. It doesn't matter if I said everything perfectly. It doesn't matter any of that stuff, right? If I have doubts that the person who's listening to me is is going to have an objection, like if I'm worried that they're going to have objection around the price, subconsciously, right, the person who's listening is going to pick up on those things and reflect them right back to me. So that is like, the reason I'm bringing this up first is because it's the most important part, and that's usually the biggest hurdle to overcome, right? There is no one-liner that you can give someone to enroll them past a price objection if you're not congruent internally with your prices. So that's why I always say, what is the price that you can say right now and stand behind and feel 100% confident in and have zero emotional reaction to when you say it out loud, right? If I believe my program is worth 10K, 20K, 50K even, right? If I really believe that, right, it's much less likely that I'm going to get a price objection, because that certainty is contagious. That's what we all want in life. We want someone who can come solve our problem with certainty. So the first thing you need to do is really believe in the value that you have to offer your clients. What is the true value of coaching with you in that transformation that's available to them, right? Can you sit down and explain? Does it just roll off your tongue? If someone were to ask you about the value, would you be able to just spit it out? All of the different ways in their life this is going to transform their life. How much that will be worth to them. How priceless this will be. Does that make sense? Give me a heart if this is making sense, or leave me a thumbs up if you are with me on this. Vicky says, I feel like I give so much quality free content, they don't want to pay. Just wait for the next free thing. Okay, Vicky, great question. Like, why do you think that is? Why do you think that they don't want to pay? What are they telling you for their reasons? Are you asking them? Are you having conversations with them and they're telling you why they don't want to pay? Right? Because when we're over here in our side of the world and we're just like kind of putting out offers online and we're like, hey, reach out to me if you want coaching. Hey, here's my link, sign up here, right? And then nobody's biting. We're kind of left on this little lonely spot of the world where we're like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm giving away so much free value here, and I don't understand why they're not moving forward. Like, we need to know what their thoughts about it are. Can't afford it is the first one for sure. Yeah. Are they saying they can't afford it, or do you believe they can't afford it? Right? Do you see the difference between what our thoughts are internally and what we believe about people in the world? It will be reflected back to us. If they're saying they can't afford it, that's their thought about it. And that's a whole nother process of coaching them and getting them clear about their thoughts about it, right? Understanding what can they afford? What is their actual circumstance, right? People say they can't afford things all the time that they actually can afford. Like, they can actually pay for it, but they don't want to, or they're not comfortable with paying it for it. Does that make sense? Right? So as a health coach, I help women lose weight, right? So one of my advisors, right, listen, she's telling me, yeah, Valerie, they can't afford it. I have this it's 3K plus program. You know, they can't afford it. They had no money at all, right? This is what she told me. I got off a call with this woman, Valerie. She had no money at all, was her email to me. And then she said, you know, she's in school for her master's and her kids are in hockey. And I'm going, so immediately my thoughts about it are, is it that she can't afford it, or is it that she is choosing not to place the exchange of her value with money onto this solution, right? What is the value of the transformation? That's why it starts up here. Because, you know, when I listened to the conversation, I listened back to the call that she had with this woman, you could hear this wasn't a big problem. This was not an important issue in this woman's life. She's talking about this thing. She wants to lose weight. Yeah, I kind of want to. And she's saying all of these things. And it's the importance level to her is down here, right? The pain of staying where she's at is like down here. And the pain of giving you 3,000 plus is like up here, right? She'd rather spend that on, you know, being able to put her kids in hockey, take them on a vacation every year. She's in school. They've got all these other things. And it's just really not in the budget, right? So you have to be really almost like a detective when you're talking to clients and understand what's really going on. Is it that they don't value this work in themselves? Is it that they don't understand the value of the transformation? Or is it that there's literally no way for them to do this? And most of us aren't going that far to get that clear with them. Most of us don't even go past the no, right? The first no, when they say they can't afford it, we're like, okay, all right, well, maybe later, like maybe you reach back out to me later when it's a better time, right? I really want you to think about that. The pain of someone's current problem, right? As coaches, we're problem solvers, right? Whatever our niche is, someone has a problem and they want to be over here, aka they want to have a transformation to get over here, right? They're on Pain Island. They want to get to Dream Island. They need a coach. They want to make a transformation to get and have a coach facilitate that for them. If someone's problem on Pain Island isn't more painful than investing $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000, right? Parting with that money, they will always stay where they're at, right? Does this make sense, right? So if they don't see the value of getting out of current situation A to get to situation B, and they don't see it as more valuable than the investment to get them there, they'll never invest, right? Time being the next one. Yep, time is another objection. There's like money, time, spouse, right? Think about it, right? Vicky says, fear they won't stick with the program. Yeah, totally. Maybe they've given up on themselves. Maybe they have a pattern of giving up on themselves and they don't know if they're going to continue and actually stick with it on this one, right? Brooke says, I feel people know they won't follow through. They like the idea, but know they won't stick with it. Yeah. So are we asking them, how committed are they to this, right? This goes for coaches too, not just people who are looking to improve their health, their mental and physical wellness, right? Coaches do this all the time too, right? They're like, I really want to be a coach, and this is like my purpose in life. And they talk about their dream to be a coach, and they talk about their purpose, but they also know they won't follow through. Or they also know that they've put it on the back burner like 5, 10 times, right? So the things that we do in our own businesses, like the excuses that we give, are usually the exact same things that our clients are doing in their life, right? So this whole journey, this journey of becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a coach is like the best personal development journey that you can go on to be the best coach for your clients when they sign up with you, right? And getting really good at coaching them through their thoughts, right? The one we're talking about today is Price, but name any of them. These are all thoughts that they're having that are causing them to take the action of not signing up with you, right? Laura says, I've heard that's more than I have access to at the moment, right? So when someone says something like that, your job is just to get curious about it, right? So is it that they don't have access to the money, or is it that they just don't see themselves using the money to move forward with you, right? That's more than I have access to in the moment. Actually, I love that thought, right? That's their thought. What they say is what their thoughts are. So, okay, I really want to hear from you guys. What do you believe about money? Right? That is a belief about money. That's more than I have access to at the moment. Do you believe that that's true? If someone says that to you, do you believe that that's true? That's more than I have access to at the moment. Do you believe that money is hard to come by and that some people just cannot get access to money ever? This will be really polarizing. Some people will have really strong reactions to this and be like, yes, you don't know how I grew up. You don't know my circumstances. It's like we grew up with nothing, right? Or I grew up to like hate money and I never spend money, right? And some people grow up with an experience around money that whenever they don't have money, they always go out and find money. And it's never a big deal, right? So do you believe their statements that come out of their mouth? Now, you might say, like, I don't believe it because I want them to enroll and I want to help them get resourceful and I want them to find a way. But how you know what you believe is what you feel. So, like, when someone says that to you and you kind of have, like, this feeling inside of you where you're like, oh, they really sound like they're strapped. Like, they just gave me a bunch of reasons why they don't have money, right? How you know what you believe is what you feel. So your job as the coach isn't to manipulate them or to bully them into thinking they should have money. Your job as the coach is to stay completely neutral and just listen to what their thoughts are about the money, right? And just ask them questions. What do they mean by that that's more than they have access to at the moment? Like, is it their goal to work with you? They want the mentorship to get them out of this current situation that they told you they're in and into the transformation that they said they want. Is that their goal? Yeah, that's my goal. Okay. So tell me what the circumstances are around the money that are keeping you from being able to have that transformation. Like, do we get clear when they say that's more than they have access to at the moment? How much do they have access to at the moment? Right? Most of us don't even ask. Part of being a good coach is being courageous for your clients, right? Being willing to experience some negative emotion to ask questions like that, to find out the truth and just get the facts out there, because we're expecting them to get uncomfortable. We expect them to do something that's scary and to get out of their comfort zone. We need to be willing as coaches and leaders to be that example and do that for them as well. And fight for them to get to the truth, right? If they say they don't have the money. Does that make sense? How much is this resonating with you guys? The things that you've heard people say? How many of you get to the specifics about their situation? Right? How many of you get to that point where you know exactly when they say they don't have access, why? Like how much they have access to, what their resources are, what they have available to them, right? Maybe their credit score is that of baking temperature, right? And there's no way they can get any loans right now. Is it still possible for them to find the money? Is it still possible for them to go take that belief and that certainty that they need this more than anything else in their life and to go get the money? I know it's possible because I've had clients do that. Clients who had, like, we talked about all of their resources. They had like zero, like every single option was closed. And within 24 hours, they came back with the money. It's not about how much they have. It's about their certainty that this is something they need. And with that certainty, human beings are able to go be wildly resourceful. wildly resourceful. But what happens most of the time when we let our clients go, they're kind of like children that we like with mismanaged minds that are like running around out of control, breaking things in a store, right? The longer you leave the child alone by herself, the more she's going to get into trouble. And that's what happens with our clients when we let them go. Then they start doubting themselves. Their brain literally tells them they can't do it. You know, their brain tells them all of the negative things to keep them, you know, protect them from disappointing themselves or harm. But all it does is it keeps them from making any transformation or any change. Your brain is like, stay here. It's very safe. That's all that's coming up. If someone is giving you a price objection, they're feeling fear, right? So the first thing we need to do, right? Everybody with me, the first thing we need to do is be certain in our prices, right? We don't go to our competitors and we don't check out their websites and we don't say, oh, this person's charging this much. Maybe I'm charging more than them. Maybe I should discount my prices and charge what this other person is charging, right? We don't look at how much time we're spending with them and say, maybe I should be charging, you know, maybe I should be discounting my prices, or maybe I, you know, should spend less time and discount my prices and base your price around how much time they're getting with you or how many resources and worksheets and homework they're getting, right? The value in the price, right, is in the transformation that's available to them. So that all comes back to how certain are you of the worth of that transformation you facilitate. And I guarantee, even if you think you know it's worth it, you could do more work on it. Like you could go deeper and you could sell yourself more on how important this work is to them, on that value. That's one of the first things that you can work on, and it will come across in all of your conversations and your interactions with people. Do you, like, be honest with yourself. Do you ever have doubts that your program and your coaching, like, could actually get people results? Do you ever think, like, maybe they won't get results? What if I can't get them results and they invest all this money, right? If we're being honest, everybody should be raising their hand right now. At some point in your life, you've probably had that thought, right? So that is where the work begins. You cannot coach someone to make a big transformation in their life and do something super scary, like invest more in a coach than maybe they've ever spent in their whole life, when everything else they've tried has failed, if you aren't super solid on that. Super solid. Your beliefs about money and your beliefs about the transformation are the pillars of overcoming price objections, right? Because when objections come up, right, it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It means they're telling you their thoughts, right? Their thoughts are optional. They control their thoughts, right? And we as coaches can help them see that and see how that's creating results in their life. But we cannot be in a place to coach them if we have drama going on about our prices, about our worth, about the results we can give, all of those things. Or if we have beliefs about money that aren't serving us in our life right now, right? If you go through life constantly having negative thoughts about money, or you judge people for spending money, right? If you're like, oh, I can't believe she spent money on that. Oh, I can't believe they bought that new car. They're always buying new cars. Or, you know, if you're constantly talking negatively about your bills, like, I can't believe this, like, bill just went up. They're raising the rates again, right? Notice what your experience has been around money, right? Why would someone invest money in you when you have all your own hang-ups around investing and spending money? Right? These are some tough love questions that you guys can investigate for yourselves, right? If you're not willing to do that for yourself, how can you in integrity, and why would somebody do that for you? Right? There is no magic, like, pickup line to overcome a money objection, right? That's like somebody selling you, like, a magic, like, if you're a guy and you don't know how to, like, have relationships in life, a guy or a girl, right? And you buy a book that's like, here's the 30 pickup lines that will get you the love of your life every time, Like, there's people out there that will buy that, right? They're like, tell me the magic line. It's the same thing when dealing with other people's thoughts around money, their objections around money. The magic happens up here in your mind. This is where the work happens. I promise you, this is where the magic happens. So do you have beliefs around money that money is abundant? There is always a way. People are wildly resourceful. Human beings are they have amazing potential to become resourceful, right? For things, even more expensive things in your coaching. They can raise money for that. They can go out and generate money, right? But what happens is we have beliefs around money. Money doesn't grow on trees, or experiences around money at times when money was really scarce that bump up against those beliefs when we're really trying to believe in other people's potential to be resourceful, right? The money objection is not real 95% of the time, okay? I say 95% of the time because there's always going to be 5% of the time where someone literally, no matter what they do, has zero, like zippo, access to anything in that moment, in that space and time. Does that mean they can't go get the money? No, I believe anybody can go get money, right? Money is everywhere. But there is 5% of the time where they will have zero ability to do it right there in that moment on a consultation with you, right? But I want you to think about, because we're going back to our thoughts around value, money, how we're thinking about our prices, premium prices, right? If you tell someone it's $2,000 to work with you, for example, and they've never invested $2,000 before in themselves, investing into that program, if it's the program that's going to get them the transformation, get them exactly out of the problem that they have, investing those premium prices is a win-win for everybody, right? Because you have more time and more freedom and more energy to pour into your clients and pour into yourself and your loved ones in your life, right? Because you have less clients. You don't need 500 clients to pay the bills every month, right? And then it's a win for your clients because now they show up committed and they do the work. And because you only have 5 to 10 clients, you have the time to serve them and make sure they really get the result, right? And coach them every time they want to give up on themselves, right? Maybe they don't think they're going to follow through because they've never had a coach believe in them and coach them hard enough to get them to show up, right? Maybe this is the thing this is the very reason they actually need to be burning the boats, coming up with the money and investing into this premium program with you. Maybe that investment is the very thing that will change their life. That's where half of the transformation comes from, right? So if you're still like, yeah, but I feel really weird about, charging those prices in the first place, I get it, right? It's something that you can change though. It's something that you can do some thought work on, right? Because if you are not fighting for them, right? If you're not willing to experience some negative emotion and get uncomfortable to coach them, even if you're still uncomfortable and you're still working on your beliefs around money, right? You're hurting your clients by not standing up for them, right? And fighting for them. Or if you just let it slide and you're like, it's okay, we'll just do a couple sessions then. And I know you can't do the full program. We'll just do a couple sessions and then kind of hoping that maybe they'll recommit, but they're not going to show up committed and they're not going to do the work and they're not going to get the result. So by you as the leader allowing them to have that option, it's not serving them, right? And here's the other side of it is that it will make it really obvious to you who really values the transformation. Once you get really solid and you can take your drama out of the conversation and you're just showing up in leadership to them, it will help you understand the clients that are going to make a transformation with you and are going to get the result, and the ones you can actually help, and the ones that are kind of like looky-loos, price shoppers, tire kickers, right? The higher the investment, the higher the success rate, right? get the best clients, right? Clients show up committed, and then they thank you for it. And then you have the testimonials, right? Now, guess what happens on the next conversation that you have with a potential client? And the next person you talk to says, oh, I don't know, that's a lot of money, right? And your belief is super high, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, right? You might not say this out loud, but your brain is going, wait a minute, they must be confused about something. Like, this is such a no-brainer. This is going to change their life. This is like worth everything and more to them and everyone in their life for them to have this transformation. Let me tell you how amazing this is, right? Let me make sure you're not misunderstanding what's available to you. Clearly, there's something that I didn't, that's what your brain is going to be doing. Your brain is going to be so solid in that belief that if someone says that, you're like, whoa, that's so incongruent with my 1000% belief in the value of this transformation for you, right? The other question you might want to ask yourself is, do you have the right product for the right person, right? If you're getting a lot of price objections, do you have the right transformation? Are you offering the right product to the right person, right? Because there are people out there that are looking for you right now who are looking for a $2,000 program, who are looking for that 3K program, who actually want to invest into their own transformation, right? So are you trying to share your service with the wrong people, right? Are you trying to get the wrong people to see the value in the service that they're not the right fit for? How frustrating does that feel? So it's really important that you're actually talking to people who want the transformation, right? And spending energy on fighting for those ones. And if you don't know if you're getting your message in front of the right people, that's the other thing that you need to look at. Do I have a way to generate leads of the right people who are a fit for my program? Or am I just talking to every referral that someone sends my way and they're not even a fit for this program, so of course they don't want to spend the money. It's not that they don't have the money, right? That objection isn't real. It's that they don't see the value in it, and they're not in enough pain staying where they're at to get to this transformation you offered to them, that they're not a fit for your program and they'll never invest. So are you making your offers to the right people? So here's a takeaway, right, of all the things that we talked about. None of them work on their own, right? When we're talking about, getting your message in front of the right person, but you don't have the belief in your transformation, and vice versa, having all the belief, but you don't have it in front of the right people, or just having, a piece of sales advice isn't enough, right? Just like taking a course on lead magnets, or figuring out Pinterest, or, doing a course on Facebook ads, or a course on how to pick your niche, right? All of this comes together, right? The mindset, the ads, the targeting the right people who need your message, your message, having it super dialed in, right? The way that you're setting up your marketing, the way that you're filtering out people who aren't a good fit, the way that you're doing your enrollment conversations, getting people to the root of what's really going on for them, right? And then they understand that they need to fix it, and they're in more pain than the pain of giving you $3,000, right? And they're committed to doing that, and they don't care if they need to go out and find the investment. They're like, how you know is if you have a conversation with someone, and instead of saying like, yeah, there's just no way I can come up with that money. Yeah, I just don't have that. Sorry. Or if they're like, I don't have that much. How can I work with you? Like, how can we make this work? How can I find the money? Is there some way that I can make this work because I need this, right? That is where the magic happens. And if they're not saying that to you, it's not a real price objection. They're either not a fit for your program, or they're not understanding the value of that transformation and how badly they need that in their life, right? And if any of those pieces are missing for you, if you're experiencing any of that, that's why you need to work with someone who will help you with all of those things, right? You cannot piecemeal these things together and try to solve this puzzle of getting all of those pieces to align correctly. You need to find someone who's going to give you that full circle solution and then hold your hand and support you in creating that. That's exactly what we do in OCI. It's exactly what I do. all of those pieces needed to come together in order for me to create my business from like broke, no one's signing up, nobody can afford me, to blowing it up and going multiple six figures in 6 months, right? And now we're doing 80K plus revenue every month, right? So if you want to talk to someone about how you can do that, right, leave a comment in the comment box. If you're watching it on the replay, you can still comment interested, and we will get more information to you, and we'll just see if we're a good fit for you. We'll talk about where you're at, what things you're experiencing, if these are things that we can help you put together full circle so you can blow up your business in 6 months, right? We're going to talk to you about that. If we're a good fit, we will schedule a consult ourselves. We'll get specific about what's going to work for you, right? Your current coaching, what you want to create, what that will look like for you, and how you can get there. Like, what specific action steps do you need to be taking, and in what order, and what should you be charging in order to get there the most quickly, right? And another purpose of this call is to see if we can target your audience, right? And dial it in. Like, I've got this space, the health and fitness and wellness space, so dialed in with the targeting, it's insane, right? So can we help you target your audience, right? And then last thing is, we're going to listen to you as well and what we hear from you. Are you committed to solving this? You know, how have you shown up in the past? And if you feel like you haven't shown up in the past, are you ready to let that stop you? Are you ready to move past that? However you've shown up in the past, right? How committed are you to taking action? Right? There's a lot of people out there, right? Talk a big game. They have big goals. This is my passion. This is my purpose. Just like your clients, they talk about wanting to lose the weight. They talk about wanting to make a change in their life, but they don't have that commitment. They also know they have a habit of not taking action and putting things on the back burner, putting themselves on the back burner. They're not actually ready to do anything. And that's fine. We love you, and we will love you if that is you. We will have an honest conversation, and then we'll let you decide, right? And by the way, if you are out there and you're like, I don't even know if I'm too beginner for this, most of the people who join OCI, they don't have programs yet. Or they have part of their programs, but they want clarity on that, or they're not sure if they have it where they need it to be in order to have this high value offer, right? We help you create clarity on that, right? But what we need from you is to believe in yourself, to show up committed, to be ready to, be tenacious and do the work and get up and get help when you need it, right? And let us help you when you need it. So if you want to start that conversation, just put interested in the comments, and someone will reach out to you and ask you some questions. We don't bite. We're super nice. We don't push anybody into anything. We don't bully people or manipulate people into things that they're not ready for, or things that aren't a good fit for them, right? We want you to have an honest conversation with yourself and decide, what do you want to create for your life in the next 6 months? What do you want your life to look like a year from now? And that is your vision for your business. Nobody can love your vision. Nobody can love your business more than you. Okay, guys, I love you all so, so much. Thank you for being here with me today. I love you all. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.